Hey, it's Rosemary here. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Now, just because you've always acted a certain way doesn't mean that you have to continue acting in that certain way. The moment you truly decide to drop the act and become whoever you want to be, you absolutely can. Okay, there's a distance between the vision of who you see yourself being and who you are because you choose that distance, thinking that your past must define you. And so every day you kind of wake up and you fall into the day thinking you must remain consistent to a view of yourself that you no longer desire. You can choose differently, you really can. You are freer than you realize, okay? Now, and the moment you accept this, you will be free of the shackles of the past. You want to be rich, then choose to be rich in this moment. Don't go looking for evidence in your past of whether you're allowed to be rich based on whether you've ever been rich before or whether you know any rich people and whether people like you have ever been rich. In this moment, right now, decide to be rich. Decide to be someone who is rich regardless of what transpired before. And then choose it again in the next moment and the next moment until being rich is simply your identity and there's no way but to be anything but rich, basically. And the conflict for you in each moment, of course, may be the very real possibility that you're not yet physically rich in each of those moments. And you may also not be sure that you're allowed to want to be rich in each moment. So what do? Go back to your old way of doing things and accept that the reality must be the only reality and therefore keep creating the present and past reality? Or simply decide that that hasn't worked to date, so you may as well choose to use your imagination for something a bit more empowering. You can choose to think rich and be rich and then let those thoughts and let that identity decide how you act. The actions of a rich human being are completely different from the actions of a poor individual. A rich person takes responsibility for providing value to the world. The poor person thinks that they cannot offer anything worthwhile and think that that gives them an out from even trying. A rich person acts boldly, stands out, risks whatever they have to in order to get what they want. The poor person tries to protect the little that they have, and so they try to blend in, not be noticed, and definitely take no risk. A rich person acts intuitively and sometimes does the unexpected because the vision inside of them pushes them forward. A poor person tries to find some magic bullet system that must absolutely work without any thought from them. It doesn't work. They tell themselves nothing ever works, okay? And then they retreat back to safety. A rich person takes responsibility for their results and seeks to learn how to improve. A poor person blames the government, their upbringing, their current circumstances, even the color of their skin for stifling them and making it impossible for them to win. And so they therefore feel trapped in an unfair system. Okay? A rich person decides what they want and then gets rid of any religious or cultural programming that tells them that they cannot have it. A lot of thought goes into breaking free from any limited thinking. A poor person allows all the programming to bend them into accepting the status quo, whilst telling themselves that this is the spiritual way or the selfless way. Ultimately, it gives them an out ever from having to think for themselves. A rich person ultimately believes in a flexible world that they can create to suit themselves. They use all of their creativity and they die empty, having deliberately designed life their way. A poor person ultimately believes in a rigid, inflexible world where they're trapped and unable to change anything, and they look to someone else to come save them. It never happens. They die full of potential. Most people live at some point between these two places and get to live an okay life. That is not wildly successful, but it's just, okay. You can choose to be rich and live a wildly successful life. You can choose it in this moment and then the next moment and then the next moment and then the next moment until it becomes your reality and it is simply who you are. And it will feel like everything in the universe is molding itself to the power and force of your decision to be rich. It's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you're born to live because you absolutely want to. Hey, tomorrow I'm going to be starting a 5-day challenge. This is something we know. The more people you serve, the more money you make. It is tough to serve more people if it's completely dependent on you servicing clients one at a time, or if you don't even yet know how to monetize yourself, okay? Or even what you have to offer. Let me help you. So starting tomorrow, we're going to do a 5-day challenge teaching you how to decide on a product to sell online. So you need to register at rosemarylonlinite.com/best-selling product. Cannot wait to work with you. Until the next time. Bye.